Hey, it's Hannah from Hannah Brown Yoga and Bodywork. We're going to be moving through a sweet little wake up morning flow just to get things going in the morning. Nothing too strenuous, but just to kind of work out all that tension that can creep up as we sleep, gently wake the body up, and get you ready to go for the day. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy the video. We're going to start our practice my favorite way, laying down. So just laying down on your mat or even on your bed, any way that's comfortable for you. Usually it's nice to have the knees bent and feet on the floor. That just helps to release the low back. If you want a little bit more low back relief, then you could bring the feet nice and wide and the knees to touch. I like to have my hands on my belly to help me connect to my breath a bit more. And then once you're here, just let yourself settle. Mornings can be a pretty busy time. So just remembering that you've set aside this time for this practice. There's nothing you need to do right now except for be right here. Let's take a full breath in and a long sigh out. Feel that settling release. One more, the biggest breath in you've taken so far today. A long sigh out, letting it all go. And just let your breath start to breathe itself. Just breathing through the nose here, keeping it slow and steady. You could invite the face to soften, base of the skull, the neck. Allowing your collarbones to widen. And just letting the breath flow freely into the ribs and lungs and belly. Maybe you want to close the eyes. And just remember this breath right here. And try to let your breath really guide your practice rather than the other way around. So let's take a nice big morning stretch with your inhale, stretching arms and legs long. And with your breath out, just let your elbows soften, legs relax. And we'll do two more just like that. Big inhale, stretch long, low back could peel up. Exhale, let it all go. Last one. Stretch long, 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 like you just woke up, but you probably did. And let it go, keeping your arms overhead. Let's shift the hips towards the left and walk the hands and feet to the right. So you're making a big banana shape. I like to cross the feet and reach for opposite elbow or hand. And let's just take a couple slow breaths into the left side body. So just helping to wake up through the side there, lengthening, expanding, and really filling the spaces between the ribs. It just helps to release through the intercostal muscles. And it helps to facilitate a deeper breath. So good in the morning. One more full inhale, really expanding the ribs like an accordion. And with your exhale, crawl your way back to center. And just notice the difference from one side to the other. And then let's try this out on the other side. So shift the hips to the right, hands and legs to the left, and a few nice slow breaths to the side body. One more inhale. Nice long exhale. And come to center. And let's reach the legs in, wrap the arms around the legs. Give yourself a good little hug. Just reaching for whatever you can grab here, it doesn't matter. You could keep the knees nice and wide too if that feels better in your body. You could rock side to side, massaging out the back. And you could explore here. What happens in my back if I move my knees away from myself? And what if I pull the legs really close in? How does this feel in my spine? Nice. So when you're ready, let's come back to center. We'll come into some Apanasana movement here. So you can bring your palms onto your knees and let the legs start to relax forward, letting the arms be long. With a breath out, pull the knees in, bend the elbows. Inhaling, knees move away, giving yourself space to breathe into the belly. A few more just like that, letting the movement follow your breath. And as we continue to move a little bit more with the breath here, you and I might be on different times, and that's perfect. That's what we want. It's a sign that you're listening to your breath and your body more than you're listening to me, and that's exactly what we want our practice to do. If you want, you could bring the knees nice and wide. Make some circles with your breath. Inhaling, knees move away and out. Exhales, pull them in and close towards each other. When you're ready, you could just hang out with the knees nice and wide. Maybe you want to bring your hands to rest on the inner thighs or knees. Just a gentle weight guiding them down, helping to find a little more release through the inner thighs. You could roll out through the ankles here. A student of mine calls this Rice Krispies in the ankles when they make all those cracks and pops. You can rock the head side to side too as you do this. So good. And eventually we'll pull the legs together and just roll to one side. And we'll make our way onto our bellies. So you could start just resting your head down on stacked palms. Notice how it feels to breathe here. Belly pressing into earth. Maybe feeling the breath in a different way than before. And we'll come into a nice Sphinx from here. So you could bring the elbows down under the shoulders. Palms could face down. You could gently press the tops of your feet into the mat. And as you breathe in, reach your heart forward like you're trying to move it between your arm bones. Press into your forearms, into your palms, like you're trying to drag yourself across the floor. Take a few slow breaths here. Allow the low back to lengthen, so we're not crunching too much there. And you could even try to lengthen the neck, maybe sliding shoulder blades down the back. Nice way to open the heart, great for our posture. If you're craving a bit more flowing movement, and you could lower yourself down for a moment. Widen out the hands, maybe wider than your shoulders, wider than your mat. You can do this from fingertips or palms. Let your elbows lift up like they want to touch the ceiling. Take a breath in, lift through the chest, the chin. As you breathe out, look over to one foot. Maybe you lower down here. Inhale, rolling your way to center, this sweet little back bend. Exhale, looking to the other side, maybe lowering down. We'll do 2 more here, either side. And if this doesn't feel great, stay in your Sphinx or lower down and just enjoy the breath against the earth. Whenever you're ready, let's meet on the ground again. We're gonna bring the hands down, press into them, and we'll make our way towards a tabletop, so hands and knees. If you're on a bed, you can come down to forearms. You can always add a fold in your mat if you want a bit more support in the knees. And if you know your body doesn't love this shape, I'll give you a different option in just one moment. So we're going to move through some slow cat-cows here, inhaling to arch the back, tailbone lifts, heart moves forward. Exhale to round, pull the belly button into spine. And a few more just like that. And if you are not a tabletop person, we'll come to seated, whatever seated position works for you. Hands on the knees, same thing, inhaling, pulling the heart forward, exhaling to round. Now wherever you are, you might choose to add in a bit more of your own movement. If there's a spot in your back that got a little tight or sticky as you were sleeping, then maybe you find that place in a stretch. You can find it just by wiggling around. And sometimes it's nice to stay there and just send a breath into whatever area is feeling a little tight. Now, if that area isn't in your spine, Maybe you got tightness in the hips or the legs here. Why not add a leg into this if you're in tabletop? Maybe you want to cross one leg over the other, move through some cat-cows there, get into the hip a bit more. Some people like to extend one leg out to the side like a little kickstand. You can get into the inner thigh and back of the leg there. Just experiment here. If you're seated, you can really move here. Maybe you do some cat-cows with your hands on the side. Play around, feel into your body. Let's go for about 3 more breaths. If you want more, just pause the video. Whenever your 3 breaths are done, we're going to come into any kind of seated position. So kneeling, cross-legged, you can just sit any way you'd like. You can lean against a wall, you can sit on the edge of your bed or a chair. Endless ways to sit. It doesn't matter. I don't care how you sit as long as it feels good in your body. We're going to finish up our practice with a little bit of Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So if there's anything going on in the nose, any kind of restrictions in that area, I want you to just visualize the practice and let your hands rest. Otherwise, let's bring our right palm to face up. You can bring your 2 first fingers, so first and middle finger, to either the space between your brows, or you can curl those fingers in towards the palm. You're going to let your right thumb land on your right nostril, and you can play here. Notice how if you press your thumb in, you can breathe through the left nostril. And then you could rest your ring finger and little finger on your left side, and if you press there, you'll breathe through the right nostril. So find a position where the hand can rest comfortably. I like to rest it on my kind of third eye point there. And we're going to start to move the breath from side to side. The idea is that we're evening out here through sun side, through moon side, through relaxation side and uplifting side. And we just kind of hope to balance out through this. So let's start resting the hand wherever is comfortable. Take a full breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Press thumb into right nostril, inhale left. Switch the grip, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale left. Switch the grip, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch the grip, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch the grip, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch the grip, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch the grip, exhale right. So keep moving through that. I like to think of tracing almost a wishbone shape through the nose. Sometimes that helps me to remember what side I'm on. You can add a count of maybe 4 for each breath if that helps you to keep it nice and even. One more round. Next time you exhale through the left nostril, release your hand and come back to breathing how you normally would. And doesn't it feel good to breathe without your hand on your face? Whenever you feel ready, let yourself relax. Now, if you want, you can close your practice with a shavasana laying on the mat. For time's sake, we could also bring our hands to our hearts. Send a thank you to your body, to the teachers who came before us, who passed these practices down to us, and to yourself for coming to class, carving out this time in your morning to practice. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Peace. If you have time, I invite you to stay seated or laying down for another 5 or 10 breaths. Otherwise, enjoy your day.